there's something with you by my side. Right here with you. Where my soul rests with you. Said I wanna right here with you. Oh yeah. Right here. Where my heart heals with you. Being right here with you. Where my soul rests with you. Love. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's clinic sessions, guys. Can I know how you're feeling today, guys? Just drop some fire emojis. And how have you started week 3? Are you prepared? Are you prepared? Like, guys, how are you feeling? This is week 3, and we are about to hit the midway, guys. Just next week will be midway. Guys, let us know how you are feeling. So everything is in place. Guys, I've seen how you're doing things. So wow, this is super amazing. And before we go forward, before we start everything, I have a reminder, you know, today there's drop-off happening. If you know that you haven't submitted and completed your week 1 quiz and you haven't logged into the portal, please make sure you do. Make sure. This is my plea to you guys. We want everyone, we don't want to leave everyone behind, but we want everyone to be able to graduate. That's it. Guys, I'm not alone today. This is James, you know. I'm just here to give you that much energy. And, you know, so I hope guys will be engaging in the chat section, will be having fun. And most importantly, we have to make sure that we listen so that we don't we don't repeat questions and whatsoever. We just have to. And now I'm not alone. I have Yvonne. Yvonne, are you here?
Hello guys, hi, how are you? This is Yvonne.
Wow. Yvonne, how are you feeling in week 3? Just give us how you're feeling before we proceed with everything. Just please, yes.
Yes. I'm ready to start week 3. This is just another week where we are going to get a lot of knowledge to help us be top tier VAs. So I'm really pumped and waiting to see how our learners engage. Yes.
Amazing. This is super amazing. Now, we would like to start. I saw someone raising a hand. I don't know. I had some one raising a hand. Please, can you raise again your hand so that we see you and start with you. Please, let's come forward with our issues. Let's be quick. Yvonne, can you just also open Slido and let's see what is on Slido? That's it. Just a quick one. Please check out on Slido. I can see you guys. You are very
Yes, as I check Slido, there's one Albanus who's raised their hand.
yes, Abanas, please come forward. Our admins, please help Abanas to unmute. Yes, Abanas, please unmute.
Okay, good afternoon.
Yes, this is morning this side, so yeah, you can. Yeah, good morning.
Okay, I'm from Kenya, East Africa. So far so good. Week 2 has been good. A lot of intense work, and we look forward for your also cooperation in areas where we stuck. So far so good. We can't complain because of the cooperation. Our squads have been very cooperative, and we are ready for week 3. We look forward to have the same energy that we had in week 2, and we hope for the best. Alex has been good so far. Thank you.
Super amazing, guys. Let's move forward to anyone. If you have a question, please, we are going to Naji Stanley. If you have a question, please ask. Let's direct all comments and everything to the comment section, probably. But whenever we have questions and whatsoever, please let's make sure they're answered live. So thank you so much. Nancy Stanley, can you go forward? Can you come forward, please?
Okay, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, thank you for welcoming us on this week 3. I have a question.
Yes.
I'm through with week 2, but on my learning platform, I'm seeing you are busy with week 2, resume learning. I don't know why it's still showing.
Okay. When did you check that?
Even this morning, I'm currently on it. I saw it.
Okay. Mostly when you have such, it means that the content has not yet been unlocked yet, or maybe you're having issues network in which it has not yet appeared in your system that the content has been unlocked. Once the content has been unlocked, you see that it will bring on week 3. That's it.
No,
Yvonne, maybe you have anything to share about that, Yvonne?
I'm seeing current quiz week 3, but I'm still seeing that week 2, resume learning on week 2.
Resume learning?
Yes.
Okay. When you were doing the modules, were you marking them as done?
Yes.
Okay, please, my first years, help us in the comment section with that. Naji Stanley, please help us. Maybe Yvonne, you have anything to say about that? Yvonne?
Help from the comment section. I check Slido.
Okay. I'm gonna pass it to Edwin. Edwin, you might have a solution to what Naji Stanley has explained. Just to give us more insights apart from what I've said.
Absolutely, James. Hi, everybody. And yeah, happy new month. I also saw somebody in the chat wish us a happy customer service week. So, because we don't refer to each other as customers, we are each other's best friends. And maybe for the next few minutes, I'll also just try to share some quick updates so that as we are having our hands raised, we are going to have answered a major part of the questions we could probably still be having. So I'll move to that first question somebody asked about having their content still showing that they have something pending. So there's a possibility that you went module by module and completed everything, but there's a module you probably didn't mark as complete. That is one possibility. Possibility number two is you did everything okay, but because we still haven't closed on the deadline for week 2, which is today, midnight GMT, it is still showing as week 2 content being live in your dashboard. So what I'd share in case there's anybody still having this as a challenge or a worry, check tomorrow morning. So I understand 11:59 p.m. GMT is going to be a lot of people's night today, Monday. So check tomorrow, Tuesday morning. If this is still the case, then it is something you want to escalate. But I don't think it is something you should be worried about, especially if you completed and submitted your week 2 recap quiz and week 2 milestone, which we also did a walkthrough last week on Thursday, I believe, in the office hours, just sharing how you can navigate this. Please confirm to me in the chat if this is all good and it aligns what challenge anybody was still having. Thanks so much, Maya. It's May, not Maya. Eva, sadly, I think we can bring you on board later to share your screen, but I understand this has been resourceful. Please confirm if this is helpful. So like I was sharing, I wanted to give some key updates. I'm seeing that we still have capacity. We've not hit the 1,000 mark for the full attendance, and we are having amazing people on YouTube. 92 of us are watching us on YouTube. The challenge with YouTube alone is you are probably not going to be able to unmute. You can't raise your hand for us to answer your question. If you'd want to raise your hand and ask a question, how about you join the Zoom link that is currently still having capacity so that you don't block on anybody who is having a question and wants their issues addressed. So I believe the team is going to drop the link to the Zoom on YouTube so that if there's anybody who is currently on YouTube but would want to join us on Zoom, this will be the best option. And if you remember, last week we thought to stream on YouTube because we were hitting capacity, but you're glad today we are still having space. So again, if you're going to be joining us for the session again in the afternoon, maybe you want to join Zoom first before we can stream on YouTube to those who are going to have joined us after the 1,000 mark. That is update number 2. Update number 3, which I am almost certain that is not affecting most of us here, is that today, 7th October, 11:59 p.m. GMT, we are going to be dropping off a good number of us, which begs to ask the question, how many do you think are in this current cohort 6? If you can remember, we shared these numbers sometime last week, and it's something you probably are aware of. And if you're not, I'd want to see what your guesses look like, the estimates you're having for the number of learners we have. Somebody said 1,000. Was, did you mean from one country alone? We are way, way, way more than 1,000. Thanks. Yes, Cynthia said it. We are 98K currently. And guys, imagine out of these 98,000, as we speak, 17,000 are at the risk of getting dropped off. 17K could be finishing the journey with us today. You can imagine if at the beginning of week 3, we are dropping you off because you didn't do one simple thing. And the simple thing you are required to do is log into the portal, navigate into the LMS Savannah, submit your week 1 recap quiz. And I was saying a good number of us who are attending the session today are not at risk of getting dropped off because we are seeing the amazing work you're doing, always updating on the portal about how your week is going, always updating your profile. And yeah, if you can be the ambassador to your fellow learners who you are sure is yet to join the portal and complete week 1 and week 2 recap quizzes and milestones, let them know that they are at risk of losing this opportunity, which you wouldn't want to see happen. That is update number 3, if I'm not wrong. The other and maybe the last update before I hand it back to our amazing hosts is there could be somebody here who's still having challenges getting a peer for week 2 activity. Let me see in the chat if somebody is having this challenge kindly. Who is yet to find a peer to partner with for week 2 content? Sefoti, why are you having this challenge? I think we shared the hack last week. Zoom user doesn't have a peer. So let me give an example of how you can go about it. This Sefoti doesn't have a peer. Zoom user doesn't have a peer. If they were in the same squad and one of them posted that they're looking for a peer, if I was Zoom user and Sefoti shared this, I would just go to her and say, okay, I see you're having a challenge with this. Can we partner for this activity? This is the easiest way. So I'd maybe say that if Unaya is here and who else is here looking for somebody, Zoom user again. How about you see in the VA library under the comments to our posts, if there's anybody looking for a peer, that will be a best platform, a good touch point to find somebody to peer, right? In the squads, we've made sure that you are able to create your own post. You are able to comment under somebody else's post. So don't be left behind when we are going to be getting actively into week 3 content because week 2 is pending submission only because you didn't have a peer. Let it be because you had something on the side which was interrupting you, which is why you didn't submit. Otherwise, it should not be a blocker. And let your peer for week 2 probably be your accountability partner going forward. You can imagine the teamwork that is going to be easier for you to navigate the content if you have somebody to always just keep tabs on you. A reminder again of what we shared last week, you can have more than one peer, but when submitting your milestone, you're only going to take the one that was probably the best that you took out of your learning with. That's number 1. Again, you can be in groups of more than one, right? So you don't necessarily have to just have one peer. You could even work in groups of 3 to 5 or 10, however conversant it is with you. I also saw earlier in the session somebody asking, Edwin, James, Yvonne, you people are speaking about hubs. How can we interact? How can we navigate? How can we apply? How can we book to go to these hubs? They are in the 8 cities we are currently physically present in. And in the comms we shared last week, I believe our team shared the locations of these hubs, the booking links of these hubs, the directions, and the opening times. If it's going to be helpful, we can share that again later tomorrow so that you get to know what hubs are in your country, where they are located at, and how you can locate them. Thanks so much. I believe this first walkthrough has been resourceful, and now we can get to answer the questions that are going to be coming up. Again, if it is not a question, you probably just want to drop it in the chat but since we are having some hands raised, James, I'll hand it back to you. I can see Tata is having her hand raised. Pardon me if I'm going to butcher your names, please. So you can have Tata go first, then Yodanos, then Magosi. So probably Tata, you want to go first. I've asked you to unmute.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My issue is still on the submission of week two's work. Almost same thing as Nanji mentioned, but I have an issue with the submission of the links. That's the form and the sheet. That's the peer coaching reflection, which we had to fill in on a Google form, then bring the link to complete the task. So I did that, but the link is still showing red because when I check my code, it shows that it has to be green for it to go through. So I don't know if I'm not doing something wrong, if I'm doing something wrong, or I still have to add some other stuff on the task. How many links am I supposed to put in there, please?
That is a good catch. And James, I don't know if you're unmuted to share a response to this. I had somebody unmute, probably to give a response to that.
Okay, Edwin, I didn't.
Oh, thanks. I've also seen Jacqueline in the chat just responding to that. Jacqueline, you want to unmute and just help everybody who's having this challenge. However, if it is a challenge you're having, the best resource I would probably refer you to is the office hours on milestone submission that we had last week. So it was a walkthrough that our team did on two things: how to conduct the peer coaching, and two, how to navigate and submit
Come
the
forward.
sure thing. Jacqueline, you should be able to speak now. I have gotten you on unmute. Jacqueline, we can hear you, but your microphone is giving feedback.
Okay, I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, loud and
So
clear.
thank you so much. To our learners, to those that are submitting your milestone for week 2, make sure that you submit according to the given instruction. If it's about a skills tracker, it means you're supposed to submit a link to that particular document. So what you are supposed to do is just to make a copy of that skills tracker, and then you work on whatsoever has been said on that particular I should say exercise. And once you're done, just copy the link and then paste it under where it is written URL, and then you submit. That's the only way that you can do, but you're not supposed to submit 3 or 4 links. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Naomi has a solution, and now I'm going to ask Naomi to unmute. I believe her solution is going to help many of us having this challenge. Over to you, Naomi. Thanks so much, Jacqueline.
Hi everyone,
Hi, Naomi.
this is Naomi from Kenya. So when you submit the link, if you want to know, okay, I believe that it will be able to disappear after the limit, which is at 11:59 today night. But what you can do to see if you have passed, there is a button where it says done, and there is a button that shows you check status. I believe that's what it says. What you can do when you click it, it shows you a template, and then it tells you to start task. There it will tell you that congratulations, you have passed the test. So that's the first thing. If you want to know if your link is viable or it's okay. And then the other problem about seeing content for week 3, mine is also showing week 2, but if you want to access week 3 content, you go where if you are in the orientation, there was somewhere you are being told to click week 1, and then if you go to week 2, it is going to have a drop down. Where it has been written week 2, click there, and then it will show you week 1, week 2, week 3, then click week 3. You will see content for week 3. So that's the solution.
Fantastic. Now I want to hand over and let Naomi conduct this entire session because she's better than me and all of us. Thank you very, very much, Naomi. I believe and I hope everybody, or at least most of us now, are having a way out on how the navigation is happening. Again, in case you're joining us now and I'm seeing you on YouTube, like I see 101 currently watching us on YouTube, we have capacity in our Zoom. How about you transition to Zoom? Of course, this is going to be in case you have a question you want to ask and you'd want to raise your hand. I understand on YouTube you can't raise your hand, you can't unmute, you can't be on video on, you can only chat. And it's probably going to be difficult to track all the chats, seeing that we're having very, very, very many chats going on. So the link to the Zoom has been dropped on YouTube. And of course, if you're raising your hand, I hope it is to ask your question. And next up, I'm going to invite Akpan. You can unmute.
Okay, concerning the problem with the week 3 content, I think the last girl, she just solved the problem, because that was what I wanted to say exactly. That if you want to access the week 3 content, you see an arrow that shows week 1, week 2, and week 3, and you click on week 3, that is when you'll be able to access the week 3 content.
Super, fantastic. I'm going to answer a question that has been raised by Ugben about for week 2's reflection. Are we supposed to, let me see, you guys are chatting so much, I'm losing. Are we supposed to write down the responses our partners gave during the coaching, or are we just answering the questions labeled A2H? Who is going to answer Ugbem in the chats? I would want to see the answer come from us who have already completed. Thanks. Phoebe has helped you out. So I hope this is going to be helpful again, not just to Ugbem, but everyone else who was having a challenge here. You read the responses A2H. I'll check one other question that is in the link in the chat before I can ask somebody to unmute. Again, if you check on the time, you're just having 25 minutes. So we're also going to take the next 10 minutes or so just to look what it is that you've dropped on Slido. It's not the link that should turn green. It's okay. It's not a question. It's a reaction. I'm seeing that a lot of these questions have been answered in real time. And before I move to Slido, I'll ask Ayal to come forth. Jordanos, sorry again about pronouncing your names wrongly. You can unmute if your question hasn't been answered yet.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My question is that, as Edwin says, we are welcome to schedule a call with more than one peer. But as the instruction says in the submission part, we have to choose one conversation. So what's your idea about choosing one? Is it okay for our points? Or I want your idea on this one.
Thanks so much for the question. So I'll use the names that are on my screen. So say Ayal has scheduled a call with Claire, with Queen, and with Noel. But when going to submit, you're only required to share a reflection of one call. You're not going to take something that happened in one call, at least something that probably happened well with Claire, with Queen, and with someone else, say Noel. You're going to take the call that went well, the entire 60 minutes that you really enjoyed the most or didn't enjoy the most, because of course you're taking a lot of learnings from it. So you are not required to share a reflection of all the calls you had. However, we are asking that you have more than one. Of course, just as a learning, it's going to improve your learning, but you're not restricted to having only one or having more than one. I believe this has answered your question. Great. I want to be biased a little bit and invite Agent Noel. I hope, I am guessing, and I'm hoping that this is Agent Noel Mark. Let me see if I can ask you to unmute. Yes, you can. Nell, you can proceed in case your question wasn't answered yet. Going once, twice. Oops. Thomas Ono, maybe you can come next. You can unmute. Yes, Thomas. Very sorry you
All right. Good morning,
cannot be
everybody.
heard. Good morning. Here we can now hear you loud and clear.
Please, my question goes thus. After the peer coaching, I actually typed the reflection on Google Docs and published it. After publishing it, I copied the link and pasted on the milestone space. Even the other one, that is a skill mapping. I equally did the same, and I copied the link and pasted on the allocated space. But after that, I'm still having the links, even though it was saved and everything is showing 100%, but I'm still having the links red. So I don't know if there's an issue with that or it will clear very soon.
Let me read you the response that Nam just shared in the chat, which is also something she was sharing earlier. After you put the URL, you have to click the done button. So probably you did not click on that. And then
No,
the
I
next
did.
thing is you did everything until the clicking on the check.
Yeah, I click on the done button. Everything is showing done and submitted.
Edwin.
Even when I went through it, it's showing 100% done anyway. That link is still showing red, but still it has been submitted.
Edwin.
Yes, James, over to you.
Okay, I
Probably
should
want
say
to.
yes, I should say the milestone is not yet graded. That's why maybe he's still seeing a red link. So once you submit and you click, once you put in the links and you click submit and everything, the milestone has to be submitted. So I don't know when you submitted your milestone, but don't worry, soon it will be graded and it will show up on your grades. I hope this helps, Magos.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Yes.
James. Checking to see on Slido what's happening over there. Because we'll not be asking you to ask questions on Slido, then ignore them. And from the Slido, I see that there's not anybody who's asked a question yet. So we probably want just to go and check that in the next 19 minutes, we take maximum questions that are coming up from those who are raising their hands. And now I'll ask Queen to go next. You can unmute, Queen. Also, as Queen comes up, if your question has already been answered, you probably want to lower your hand because with the numbers of hands you're having raised, 12 of them with the time you have available, we probably will lose track. Thanks so much for those who've lowered. Queen, over to you. I believe her question got answered already. I'll pick on Zoom user. There's a Zoom user whose hand was raised.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, this is Rachel from Uganda. So I joined a little bit late. I've been trying to catch up on Savannah, but I'm currently on week 2. But what is setting me behind is because I've seen the word squad, accountability manager, and a peer. First of all, I do not have a peer to continue with my reflection session. I don't know how to get it because I've seen some people talk about you can get it from your squad. I don't know how do I join my squad. Maybe I could find people that come from Uganda. Is it an issue if you get a peer from a different country, or it's you're supposed to have a peer from your own country? Like, please shed more light on that. In a nutshell, please, I'm having issues with finding a peer. Please elaborate on team manager, but also how do I join my squad? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy to help. If it was one question, I would probably just drop it in the chat and you'll get an answer from all of us. But yes, Ivy has already told you that you can get a peer from anywhere. And maybe you're having a challenge knowing what your squad is. So the squad is the community space that you're currently in. So where you get our updates, this is on the portal. When you navigate through the learning tab, you're going to get the LMS Savannah, where you do your week-on-week learning. If you click on the community tab, you'll see the spaces that are only relevant to the virtual assistant. You have the VA library, and then there's a squad that you are in. That is where you can see us sharing the day-by-day posts of what is happening, the updates you need to be getting, and an accountability partner is another name for a peer, is another name for somebody who's just going to be keeping you updated on maybe just an activity that you need to collaborate on. You can be using this as your learning partner just to know, okay, this is my availability. This is when you can always be scheduling one wants to meet and learn day by day. So in a nutshell, again, you can find this accountability partner anywhere in your squad in the VA library. And if you're lucky enough to be in our countries that have hubs, you can also just schedule when there's an availability, go to the city hubs and ask if there's any learner who's taking the VA program. This can be your accountability partner. I believe that has helped you out. And I'm hoping at the end of this call, there's not any of us who's going to be lagging behind, because my excitement at the end of this day today is going to be, okay, I was having a challenge, but because of the sessions we had last week and this week, I'm now in good standing. I've repeated my recap quiz, which I was having a 64%, and now I'm having a 100%. I hope that is helpful. Samuel, calling on you to go next. If your question wasn't answered yet, you can unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. So very quickly, my name is Samuel from Nigeria. So I have finished my milestone and everything since say Thursday or Friday, but it keeps showing there and it has clicked on. My URLs are still showing red, and I can't see my score yet.
That is because the deadline is today, 11:59 p.m. So at midnight of today, so check tomorrow. If this is still the situation, then of course we can now escalate it. It's the reason why. So an example again that is perfect is if you start interacting with week 3 content tomorrow, you complete it by end of day tomorrow, before next week Monday, it will still show like that until the deadline comes and we confirm, because this is auto graded and the grading happens at the end of the deadline.
Oh, okay.
Yes, SC week 3 content is already unlocked as of today morning, I suppose. So James,
Yes,
if I can, thanks so much. I believe we answered you, Samuel.
Yes, thank you.
James, if I can just share my screen and address the 25 plus questions that have already started coming up on Slido. Thank you. Kindly confirm in the chats if you can see my slide screen that is showing. Somebody, anyone? Thank you, Maya. Great. So, again, out of these 18 questions, you'll see that a lot of them are repeating. Like the week content is like 8 questions, milestone are 7 questions. So you'll see me not answering all the questions, but probably a question that has been mostly voted or a question that we haven't addressed yet. So Anonymous is asking, submitted the milestone, but it's showing as 100, but it's still showing as a work in progress. Again, we've given the response to this that it's because the deadline hasn't reached yet, which is why that is happening. That is one. Anonymous, same question. I've done everything that needs to be done. What are we supposed to do with the part that has the workspace skills? Great question. So this document that you just got access to is a live document. And by live, we mean it's going to be your guiding principle all through to the very end of the program. So you'll be doing week on week updates to it. If you've reached to a sheet where you are not yet asked to make any update to, please just hold on, and you're going to get to maybe weeks 2 or 3 where you're going to be asked, okay, you remember the sheet we introduced you to in week 2. Now we are asking you to move to the workspace sheet, skills sheet, and make these and these updates. Again, this is one of the other documents that you're going to be having access to. And thanks to the sessions we had last week, we are seeing not many people asking for access to this document, but instead making your own copies like we asked. One other thing we're also seeing that is exciting is you are not sharing documents before granting us view access. And a heads up again is when giving access to people on your documents, be sure to only give viewing access, because you can imagine if you grant me edit access to a document you're having, I'll probably misbehave with it and might probably cost you if it is not getting graded. Anonymous, how to check the score or the grade of your milestone if you've passed or not? You probably want to wait and check on your dashboard tomorrow to see what score you are having. It will show tomorrow after you've completed. After submitting your skill, I scored an 80, but my skills mark has red. Again, same question, different ways of asking it. Yes, a lot of people have asked this, and we've tried to answer as many as possible. Same question. How to get a peer so that you can complete. How to get a peer. How to get a peer is you share in your squad if you're looking for one, in the city specific WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Discord groups, Facebook groups, whichever space is it that you are in on social media, you can find a peer to partner with there. Same question. I believe that we've answered your question, seeing that you've asked it more than once. Completed my week 1, but a bit later it's showing 0% complete. This should not be the case, especially for week 1 contents, because week 1 content should now be showing you what your score is. You probably want to raise a ticket on Zendesk or ask Leah, our online assistant, to help you out with that. Susan is asking, completed the tasks, but the status is still resume learning. We've given an answer to that. Ooh, great question. What the legacy points are about. How about we shed more light on the legacy points bit later? And this is because at least the clinics you're currently holding are for the learning content, and the legacy points are rewards you get for being more interactive in the portal, for sharing an update on what your employment status is. And after every 3 months, you are always required to be updating your profile. If you've gotten a job, if you're still actively looking for a job, if you want to give a summary of what your professional background looks like, that is what the legacy score point looks like. Great. A lot of these questions have already been asked, and we are having just 8 minutes to. Where do you get the social media groups? We send these in the portals and in the newsletters every week. And in the squads you are in, you'll see a representative from the team whose name has a moderator access on it. This is where you can get to know who is in which city that you are in and can share the link to your spaces in. Again, an easier way to get the spaces you need to be joining is asking this in the squads. I'll stop sharing my screen and just come back to check that I didn't go so fast and miss a lot of questions that were probably coming back in the chats. So Yvonne, James, I'm sorry, I invaded your session and I want to return it back.
Thank you so much, Edwin. Thank you so much. Please, Yvonne, we are remaining with 8 minutes. And can you please choose those who have raised their hands, and so that we take up their questions and we close up and we wait for another session as shown on the comms that we have sent, that we are having 2 clinic sessions today. Yvonne, over to you.
Hello. We can start over with Samuel. Samuel, you can kindly unmute and ask your question. I see that your hand is raised.
Samuel, unmute. We are giving you.
I bet
Yes.
Samuel already has the question. It should just be having the lower hand, the hand lowered.
Yes. Okay. Please.
Mary Ann Siphon. Go over to Valerie Zoko. Sorry if I butchered your name, but Valerie, your hand is raised. Kindly unmute. Makosi. I don't think they are asking anything. They are asking, they are still muted. Makosi, could you kindly unmute and ask your question? Joy, Jonathan.
It looks like we answered most of the questions, and I've seen Maureen asking if we must attend all the clinics. Again, it is not compulsory that you attend all the clinics. Again, it is not compulsory that you stay in the clinic all through to the end. You could join early, ask your question, have it answered, and just drop. It's why these sessions are crowned clinics. Get in, get your medication, and you can just walk out. Thank you. Back to you, Yvonne.
Jonadab, sorry, could unmute and ask your question. You can drop them in the chat as well. We can get them from chat or from Skype and get them answered. I don't think anyone has a question. Is there anyone?
Yvonne, it appears like your audio is giving some slight feedback. It feels like you're speaking from far. Yes, now I can get you clearly. I've seen, who do we want to? Yes,
Joy Jonathan
Magosi.
is saying she can't unmute.
Yeah, I think it's because it's Magosi can now unmute. We've had that resolved for you. Please confirm.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
It's, this is Kopolo Magosi from Botswana. So my question is, I've been seeing different people from different countries having access to the WhatsApp group links and Telegram link, but I do not know where ours fall in. So could you kindly assist with that? Because I keep hearing that in the beginning, of the day when the moderators send us, no, not moderators, when we receive emails for every week, we should get those links. I received those emails, I guess, but I haven't picked where those links are. Maybe I'm missing something. Could you kindly assist with that?
Happy to shed some light on that, and I'm going to do that in the next maybe just 1 minute, seeing that we are almost getting on top of time. So here's what's happening. We are currently physically present in 8 cities, and in these 8 cities, our team that is in these cities help our current learners to make sure that those who visit these spaces have the support they get. And probably Kenya and Nigeria are wondering, why is it that WhatsApp is the mostly used spaces in our countries, but you're referring us to Telegram? It's because if you know the capacity WhatsApp is having, it cannot go beyond the 9,000 learners we're having in Kenya, the 16 or 20 or even 30K learners we're having in Nigeria, but Telegram has that capacity. So what's happening is we only share official accounts. However, if you'd want to have your own spaces, we are restricting you not to share them in the portal, sadly, because this goes against our codes of conduct, which is why when we share these updates, it's probably always just to the few of us who are in cities that we are physically represented in. And it almost feels like we are overlooking some of us who are in Uganda, Botswana, Zambia. So our resolution to this would be, we share with the program team that we have a good number of our learners in other cities that we aren't represented in. How do we go about this? So how about we share an update with you on our clinic on Wednesday, Magosi, and everyone else
Okay.
who's having this challenge?
All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Maybe the program team is going to hold on for the next 2 or 3 minutes, but before our session that's coming up in the afternoon, there's a feedback form being shared in the link. Please share with us how resourceful this session was, number one. Number two, very sorry that we might not take all the questions of those who are raising their hands. However, if you drop your question on Slido, we can answer it and you'll come back to see a response to it. I'm handing back to James and Yvonne one more time. And again, thank you very, very much. Be sure to join our session in the afternoon if your question hasn't been asked. However, it's totally optional to join the session. Do have a wonderful day and week ahead. And please be the rock stars that you are by prioritizing week 3 content to submit it before Friday. It's our joy to see that you get time over the weekend to rest just as much as you prioritize this work. James, you've
As Edwin has said, much thanks from us for joining our session. We hope that your questions have been answered, and as those that have not, you can kindly log in back to Slido later in the day, and you sure will get your answer. For the week 3, we could continue try our best to finish it earlier, as said, and in case of anything, you can always reach out to your community ambassador on the squads, and we are sure to get help. We also have community ambassador champions, sorry. We have champions who are from previous cohorts, so they were introduced in our squads last week or the week before that. You can always reach out to them in case of anything and your community ambassador is not able to help at the moment. Kindly reach out to your champion and you'll be sure to get help. But from us is thank you so much, and let's keep doing the hard things.
Praise, before we leave, we have to make sure that we have a feedback form that is in the chat. Please give us feedback, and so that we should plan and see how best we can support you all. Thank you.